Okay.
Get it together. All right, let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of Toxic
Y'all are
Wine.
foolish.
I am your host, Marley.
I am over Tamara.
It was you.
And I'm Tamara. That apparently everybody's over. I don't know what I've
You
done.
said it was me?
Hey, lady.
It was.
You started it.
It was.
Exactly, because had you not brought up the conversation.
How are you doing
Listen.
today?
I am great.
How you doing? Cause
I'm doing great.
ooh, I got a tear that want to come out.
It's too much wine.
For you.
For us, yeah, for us.
Yes, that's sparkling water.
Stop lying to these folks. Ain't no sparkle.
Ain't no sparkle.
That's the best type of
Really
wine you've ever
bubble.
had.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh my God. What are we doing tonight? What have you brought us here for?
What you want me to talk about now? I think people are tired of hearing me flap my gums.
They ain't got no choice.
I'm about to say, well,
You ain't got no choice. You click on
I
that
heard
button.
you chickens was looking for me.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you thought I was gonna be back?
You thought,
How did that turn into the...
I don't know.
Right.
Just tonight. You'll be
Okay.
back.
Nah, it's alright.
Well-
this is a singing episode.
Ooh.
It is a singing episode, actually.
What we doing?
We're talking
What we
about.
doing?
I know this topic may seem a little old,
It's
Yeah,
never
oh.
for all the things that are coming
but
in
there's a
America.
lot of things going on in the industry.
The industry that we
The
don't
industry.
work
I have to say
Right?
the industry because just in Hollywood, it's a little crazy in there.
in. You should have seen the message I read from the
You-
pastor.
You
Exactly.
y'all.
Ooh, not the pastor. Listen, guys. Tonight we're talking about separating the art from the artist.
Oh boy.
No, that
And it's a hard
that took away my life
discussion.
real quick. Go
Yeah.
ahead. That took away my life. The art
Right? She
From
just
the
snatched the
artist.
joy, like
Right.
the art from the artistry.
from the artist.
It's a tough conversation because we had this conversation earlier and it's so hard. Like I was in the car today listening to this playlist. I got this nice little R&B playlist going, you know.
Robert was on there.
Robert came on.
And you know, I knew you was gonna say Robert. I'm drinking.
So, minding my business, you know.
Driving along.
Driving along. It was D'Angelo first. I was
Ooh.
exactly. I was in the moment.
That's my song.
You know, the rain coming in. I was
The
good.
rain.
Ooh.
It started raining.
Wait,
earlier
time
today.
out. Am I the only one who got real close to the TV, tried to look down like it was gonna get?
Yes. No, she's not. But yes.
Oh, okay.
We all did that.
I was about to say.
I'm like, my TV
Well, no,
not
listen,
on.
I've confessed that to a few people who looked at me like you're nasty, and no,
No,
nobody
I
did
know
are
that.
that.
nasty.
I always waited.
You nasty.
But luckily, D'Angelo is not someone that I need to separate. I don't
Yes,
think he is.
But I would. I hope not. But
But
I was
then-
I was jamming to D'Angelo, and then I can't even remember what R. Kelly song it was because I just had to. The song played for a good minute. It was a 3-minute song. It played for a good minute.
That's okay.
And I was probably jamming along because, you know,
Yeah.
I'm driving, it's raining, I'm not.
you know.
Then I looked over and it said R. Kelly, and I was like, because even though you zone out sometimes, some things still pop out at you.
I still sing "Step in the Name of Love" like at random. You know those songs where you just kind of, I'm a jukebox,
there's-
so I sing at random. And the moments that I have are, one, I think back to like my mom and my dad. They genuinely did not rock with R. Kelly. Like when I was younger, they were literally like, nah, that gotta go. And I honestly just assumed it was for the lyrics. And my dad was like, no, that's a nasty nigga. And I was like, wow, okay. Like
He is.
I was like, oh, okay. And so, like, separating the art from the artist, I honestly I don't think it's possible. Because to me, it's like, I believe that when you're an artist, you're a creative. This is your art. This is you. This is all of you. This is a reflection of you. You're pouring yourself into whatever it is, whether it be, you know, painting, music, whatever. It's you. So if you do, you know, things that are not appropriate or legal for that matter,
appropriate period, then legal, because
appropriate, legal, or
because it could be appropriate in someone's eyes and just
if you do things that are just morally unethical,
right,
morally
and illegal. But that's that's who you are. And I'm not saying I'm honestly not saying that R. Kelly's a bad person. I'm sure that one, because the whole case, and this is old, but he's had trauma done to him. It doesn't make it right. It's just a messed up cycle, and so obviously people are trying to stop it abruptly, but it's like, well, he's been like this, and these allegations have been floating around, right? And we knew, and these things have been floating around. But I guess to scale it back is that's who you are. That's your music. That's your artistry. You're singing about what you're doing.
Right.
So I don't feel like you can separate art from the art. I don't feel like you can separate that from the artist. It's either you rock with it. And I'm not it sounds harsh because it's well, if you listen to him still, people are like, oh, I just like the music. It's you like the music because you like the artist. You like the artist because you like who they are as a person, and who they are as a person is a toucher.
See, this is the thing, toucher. I don't believe that
it doesn't. Now, let me just interject real quick. I'm not saying that I'm not a hypocrite because I still listen to Chris Brown.
Okay. Because I was gonna say
we weren't even in Chris Brown yet.
I was going to say I think you can.
Yeah, assaulting people.
I think you can separate. I don't think you can separate. You said what?
And he's doing coke.
Doing a little.
How do we really know that? Let's not.
Man, there is video.
But I'm
ample.
So this is all right. So let me just put this out there right now. I don't think you can separate the artist from the artistry, but there are certain things that are more forgiving than others, and I think that's where we.
Okay, that's fair. I think like bad remarks or making
no, not bad remarks, because honestly, I'm gonna look at it this way. Chris Brown doing coke ain't got nothing to do with me.
No, not the cocaine part. That was a little extra tidbit for her.
I was gonna say.
Seen her reaction.
R. Kelly's situation was a little different for me because I personally can't listen to his music no more because he's when you listen to the music that he wrote, Aaliyah, age ain't nothing but a number, getting down ain't nothing but a thing. You get what I mean? His lyrics is he's the Pied Piper of music. If we want to know,
that's the other thing. You call yourself the Pied Piper.
When I was old enough to,
do you know?
When I was old enough to
look that up.
When I was old enough to figure it out, I was just all right. But then there are some artists who I look at and I'm like, okay, I guess they're more forgiving. Dr. Dre.
He beats on women now.
He was a woman beater. His wife that he's been with now exactly. There were certain things that people go to counseling and therapy for, and they may have changed. If we really sat here and judged all of these artists for what they've done in their past, we would have no artists because the 90s was a very fucked up place.
You ain't lying about that.
90s,
Mystical is a prime example, right? I love Mystical.
See, the only thing that makes it tricky with Mystical is every time I turn around, every time he get out of jail, there's a new accusation.
That's a valid point. I love the Mystical, and it's damn, it really sucks because the number one thing is we're not there. We have no idea, and it only takes one person to make an allegation before it blows up because you're a celebrity. Exactly. So it goes from you possibly really dead ass not being guilty, or you maybe dead ass being guilty. I'm never gonna know that, and that's the only thing I will say about one. I know I personally can't separate the artist from the artistry, so I just won't listen to you at all.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want
to. But for me, like I said, it's forgiving certain things. I forget. I can't listen to R. Kelly.
I'm not gonna lie. I really did forgive Chris Brown. And then when Rihanna went back, I was like, okay, sis, I'm with you.
But can I honestly?
And everyone has seen Take You Down video.
But this is the. But with the Rihanna situation taking him back, that's Stockholm syndrome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
You get what I mean? And with the Chris Brown.
But what if it wasn't? What if it had flourished and worked out and great? Would it still be that? Would it be someone that's forgiving and nurtured through
Chris
love?
Brown still has a lot of growing up to do before
I
would personally say that I can forgive him because even in situations where he's around certain women, things that I don't know, I'm starting to notice more of the misogynistic traits
but
in
that's all of your men in music because that's
Future,
that's Trey Songz, that's Kevin Hart. That's because
that's kind of what.
How long is this episode?
And that's where it is, and that's the only reason why I'm looking at it as I kind of feel bad. y'all know I don't fuck with R. Kelly. Like I personally can't. I stopped listening to R. Kelly a long time ago. But with
honestly,
Chris Brown,
outside of Step in the Name of Love,
no, there was
Chris,
a song I needed for my wedding, but it's R. Kelly.
The situation with Chris Brown, it kind of
ruined Space Jam for me. I will say
he ruined a lot of things.
If I just
the situation with Chris Brown, it makes it kind of difficult for me because it's just like the stuff that we women are mad at seeing him do. All his counterparts have been doing it.
But for all the other women that are mad about it, there's 50 other ones that was like, he would have did that to me, so I love you, Chris. Ah!
No.
And I'm gonna tell you, at one point in time, I'm guilty because no bullshit. At one point in time, like when I was younger,
I forgave Chris Brown too. But then I had to. Let me not say
I made jokes and would be like,
I didn't make jokes.
Just like you wouldn't hit me
because Rihanna is my. But what I did say was, if Rihanna came out herself and said she hit him first and she takes responsibility and what did she say? I take responsibility in how it went down and she has moved on from it. All I can do is move on from it too.
Right.
That's it.
That's one thing.
Because society allows women to not for nothing, society allows women to move on from that. If she said it was me that it's just like the whole Bow Wow his baby mother thing. Like according to all the pictures and stuff like that, otherwise she beat his ass. Now she came out and said it was me. I assaulted him first. I did that. Blah 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 blah. Okay, they're gonna trump on her forever, and they're gonna they're gonna pat Bow Wow. But it's like if Bow, they might. I don't know. You know, Shad need a hug. But if it
Bow Wow does a lot of.
Bow Wow was the one who antagonized that situation.
Bow Wow does a lot of fabricating.
Well, no, I'm not. Yeah. I know that, but I'm just saying, like.
But what happened with Chris Brown is the actions after that didn't make it easier.
Of course not, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I mean. I'm just saying, like, if you were doing,
let me tell you, you got a boyfriend down the street, the ex-boyfriend down the street that was doing that to you. Listen.
I move after I break up with niggas. Sadly.
Anyways, Erykah Badu, and this is a quote that leads me to know that you can't separate the artist from the artistry.
Look how quickly we forgave Erykah Badu. Y'all remember that statement she put out?
No, I don't. Year? You brought it up before the show.
You never heard that? Yo, she brought it back to. It was around the time with the Cosby and the R. Kelly stuff, and she was like, "Well, we're sending our daughters to school with these short skirts on, taunting these little boys." So who's to basically saying who's to fault these boys for getting turned on and wanting to touch these girls?
But she also said, keep in mind, I'm an artist, and I'm sensitive about my shit,
and I'm a consumer, and I'm sensitive.
No, but honestly, I say that to say that, like, when an artist is saying that just for me, that's more impactful to say that I know as an adult, as a consumer, as somebody that's honestly growing and like has a child now and thinking about these things and the ripple effects. I can't separate the artist from.
Look at Nas, but that's the thing. It's like we pick and choose because look at Nas.
Well, yeah, but things are coming out,
and that's what I'm saying. We still pick and choose because people canceled. I mean,
no disrespect. When's the last time Nas came out with something?
This year, and it sold. And this is the thing. You don't listen. Y'all don't listen.
We got the same birthday.
But that's the thing.
Virgo.
Nas,
no, male Virgos don't count.
Nas is doing very well for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Khalees came out and
said because he's still getting the proceeds from Stillmatic, Illmatic,
and he put out something tapes, Lost tapes, Volume 1, 2, and 3.
I'm not a big.
You're not a big fan, but Jim Records sold.
But they did. You are right. So, but that's the thing. So, okay, so Khalees comes out with her side of the story. Nas has his side of the story. That it still all boils down to.
And there were witnesses.
You know what I think that really is.
But Nas probably ain't gonna bring forth no way. It's
I
always.
think that's just an issue within ourselves because even though we know, or it has been allegedly said that Rihanna is the one who started this, we don't really speak on like the toxicity that comes from the females. We just be like, oh well, he hit her, and that's just the end of the
And
conversation.
but that's the thing that I'm bringing up too. It's like I'm not trying to. This is not me like defending. Like I grew up in a domestic abuse, so this is far from me defending that.
I'm not defending that. You will never hear me say that Chris Brown was right.
No, of course not. But societally, like you are always going to. We are going to. Look at Wale. They tore Wale apart for having a fair skinned, slim black woman, because she is black.
She's black.
Oh, okay. Wait.
He called
edit that part out.
He called her black, but this is and that's the thing. Like they attacked.
Wait, is he saving himself?
Where's she from?
Is he caping?
I don't know.
Black people come in all shades. She looked.
I know that, but where's she from?
But she looks.
But this is another thing, though. It's just like, oh, you're a rapper and you talk about bigging up black women and da da da.
Right.
Here you go, getting this light skin, and it's just like stuff like that.
Is she still not black?
Right. That was my first thought. I was like,
even if she's not black, I could still have love and support my black woman and date somebody else.
No, because that goes back to our color versus preference. You know, it might
just
be his
you
preference.
Do you remember what I
but
said
he
on that
still
episode?
appreciates
and loves. He's not
his mother and sisters.
I've never heard Wale talk negatively about a black woman. Like,
of course not.
No.
That's his whole that's his.
That's how he was raised.
Yes,
of course.
Not.
Yes.
I have yet. I guess you said I said have yet.
Mm-hmm.
Have yet. But that's how he was raised. A beautiful African man. And I feel like you can love who you want to love and still appreciate.
And as you told me, you said that he was clarifying because what was you showed me this morning?
Oh, the woman there was like, you left your baby mama for this model chick, and he bigged up. He was like, my baby mother is a beautiful African queen. We did not work together. We did not work well together in a relationship. But
He said because of him.
Because of him.
To be clear.
Yes, because of himself.
Because he took ownership.
And he said, we are the best parents. And he was like, I will always and forever ride for her because she is the best thing. And it's just like, when I look at it, I feel like us, because we put so much into these artists who we really don't know.
Mm-hmm. We allow their artistry and their music to create a facade of their person. But they're still, people forget they are still people too. Which is why I'm like, okay. Problematic babes. Everyone who knows me, and I says my eyes closed because I feel the stares. Everyone who knows me, you guys know I love Kanye West to the death of me. When I leave this realm, when I leave this earth, I'm still going to love Kanye West. I said it. Now, however, I do not.
She just pointed at me like I am
She
so
did?
mad.
Not you, sorry. Now, however, and you. No, but it does not excuse. I take the ownership of the things that he has been problematic about, from the MAGA hats to Trump's office. Because he said he loves people.
But this is the thing.
I'm not loving people who don't love me.
Can I tell y'all something too, though? But can I tell you something? Half of these artists out here don't love you.
Oh,
Dave East loves me. Wait.
Kanye loves me. I don't, like, no bull.
Yeah, they're about to attack me. She said it right to me. She was like, half these artists don't even love you.
These artists do not love you.
He loves me.
What about him attacking that girl in the hotel room?
We read that story.
What about the baby freaking over here hustling and bustling fans that just want to hug and tell yo, he moved.
Like a Miguel
But that's the thing.
Now see here, Miguel was an accident. He was excited and it was a good set. And that girl should have been so damn close.
Here's the thing though, but that right there is a good example of not separating the artist from the artistry.
No,
when
but
you
but
listen to
I
the baby's music.
Oh, of course, yes. No, that's
don't separate him.
I'm not
get these hands.
Here, but honestly, I'm not a baby. I could care less about the baby.
I love the baby. I love the baby.
No, he's very cool. Like I vibe with his music, but I
saw a tweet that said the baby looks like
a PT
5'5" with brown eyes. Smile like the sunrise.
I'm wanting to you, cause what?
The baby looks like 5'5" with brown
you said.
eyes. Smile like the sunrise.
Calm down, City High. Calm down.
He is 5'5" with brown eyes.
No.
Wait, what?
He is 5'5".
Listen, he knew
the
he
man
gave his money to Megan.
second, because Kamaya gonna
sorry.
spit out all her water.
You over here make it like this is for the show.
Nah, because you know them
Mine-
short men, they be the ones that
Aggressive.
Separating the artist from the drive the boat. Let me know.
We don't
Please.
separate the artist from
We don't
artistry.
separate. We don't separate.
No,
the
we
artist
don't.
from
I
the
agree with that.
Artist enough, but I think as we're moving into getting into these things, it's
I
bringing
think
more
culture
things
and
into light.
society is trying to. I think culture and society is trying to make a point to make things accountable.
Can
So
I tell
what's
y'all
happening with
something?
these artists and the things that are coming
And I
to
was
the
gonna say,
forefront,
it's gonna be.
it's making us be like,
and
no,
we gonna
hold
hate
him.
it. We are going to hate it.
We are, because some of
I
your
don't
prime example. Are you guys like into like comedy and stuff? Are you so
I sure
Paul
am.
Mooney?
Come on,
Now
man.
this is an old story.
But-
Well,
but-
old to us.
new to
New to us, old to them. But the situation with
Richard Pryor's
Richard Pryor's son, right?
Not even that.
Are you
Look at
familiar?
More
I am
current.
not.
Look at
Okay,
Dave
so-
I know
Chappelle.
Richard Pryor, but
Look at Dave Chappelle. Separate the artist from his artistry.
Time out. What do you have to say about Dave?
I
Chappelle?
love Dave Chappelle, and all his jokes will always forever be classics in my eyes. But you know, they say he talks about trans women and his slurs.
Well, now
Hold
see,
on.
for me, is
I
that
think
just
that's a
is
little
that
different. I
comedy
think that's-
though? You know what I'm
that's
saying?
just
Like, is that
comedy. I
Oh
think
tongue
that's-
in
no,
cheek?
they said
Like,
no, they say he just doesn't f with trans women.
but he. So
Is
if
he
you
like-
if you watch this, I took this out
I'm
to
not
be
gonna-
funny,
Go
and I can't
ahead.
get it back.
Go ahead, because me and you were on the same page. If
Okay.
you really listen to his artistry, you would understand what he's trying to say.
But I think there's a
But it's-
different type of artistry in a person who makes it their point to deliver their whole life story. For example, R. Kelly, Kanye West, people who are writing their life stories and singing it to us and feeding it to us versus
Kanye
a
West ain't
person
saying
who
his life
knows.
story to us. We just see it on the
I don't listen to
Kardashians.
I'm not even.
There's a lot of these artists that I don't listen to by default. So for me, it's like, oh, we're not listening. We canceled
Ye's
Chris
album
Brown?
is coming out
Cool,
in
that's
November.
cool,
and
'cause his last
I'm
album was
still
one
gonna
for me
listen.
anyway.
I'm not. I'm dead ass. I'm still going to listen. But the thing with
But with the
But the
Paul
thing
Mooney
with-
situation is a good example.
So and so for those of you who don't know, the situation at hand is I guess back in the 70s and the 80s there was a
Touching
situation.
up on
Richard Pryor's son, he sexually
They
assaulted
were in a
him,
sexual
or
relationship.
they were
together.
so they were in some kind of relationship. Richard Pryor's son came forward and said that he was underage and
He was
that
like, if I was underage when it happened, then he did not say yes. He did not say no.
Right.
What he said was, if I was 17 when it happened, then of course it wasn't consensual.
right, and he kind of left it like at that. So now of course
And
Paul
then the mother
Mooney.
said, his mother said that this is not the first time the son has brought this to our attention. This is why Richard Pryor and
Put a hit out on Paul Mooney's life,
Mm.
right? This is back in the 70s, 80s.
You
But
know,
my-
they kill
but-
people to Papa's got a rolling stone.
But my thing is like that sucks because for me now, unfortunately, one, we are never gonna know the truth. We're never gonna know how things went down. And not for nothing, there's crazy stories about Richard Pryor and the whole
And Michael Jackson, Elton John.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And those times and those orgies and sex parties and like all kinds of things. You know what I'm
There's a lot
saying?
of things going on.
You know
in
what I
the
mean? Like so there's
80s and
years and there's decades of problematic faves. There's decades of it.
And
There's
that's-
decades of us not
I'm
being able
saying.
to separate it. But I do think that it's pivotal for us to bring up because I do think that we're in a point in time where people are holding people accountable because look how many people, I'm not saying turned on Bill Cosby, but look how many people were like, oh, that's what's happening?
No, you
Bye.
are right. Look
We
how
are
many
in
people
we are in
turned on Bill
cancel we are
Cosby.
in
They turned on
cancellation
Bill
era.
Cosby.
And I feel I'm a
You
little.
might as well
I'm
get a
still,
damn stamp. Everybody get
I'm still on the fence about it because
And
I don't wanna-
want to say
I
you
don't
have a right
wanna-
to be.
because it's
Because
very hard
people-
to hear. Yes, they go into the whole. It's very hard to hear America's Dad, but I feel like not a lot is being factored in, especially when it's our kind. I feel like not a lot is being factored into the facts. Like we're not reading into the facts. We're not reading into the truth.
We're not doing this conversation.
No, because if we're holding everybody accountable, we're holding everybody accountable. We're holding the people in our communities. We're holding the people in their communities. We're holding everybody accountable. And
Can
I'm
I
not-
talk? This is what we have to stop doing, and this is what we as Black people need to stop doing. We all.
I'm not
There was
caping
a
for him
joke-
because he's black.
No, I get you're not caping for him because he's
But
black.
But a lot of
Because
people are
If
catering
he did
for R.
that, he would
Kelly
take his
and-
old ass. Yeah, they
'Cause
really
there's
are.
There's facts for the R. Kelly situation. What I'm saying is there are facts
for Bill Cosby.
But there are also loopholes in those stories.
I'm going to tell you right now, all it takes is for one woman to come tell me that a man drugged her and had sex with her before I believe
but in
that
these
he
times,
did.
Okay, that's fine. But what do you do about the women that come forward and say, I lied?
Exactly.
How many women came forward and said they lied on Bill Cosby?
I don't know, but I'm not talking about Bill Cosby, though. But what do you do about the women that came forward and said they lied?
They need to be held accountable, too. That's it. And,
Okay.
But everyone needs to be held accountable. But with this Bill Cosby situation, because I've seen people like, well, why aren't we doing this for Harvey Weinstein? Everyone's going down. Matt Lauer's going down. Harvey Weinstein's going down.
I forgot about Matt Lauer.
Everybody's
You know, the guy at dinner last night kind of looked a little like him.
Everybody. Kevin Spacey. They're all being taken to action.
The dad from Seventh Heaven.
They're all.
You can't even trust
he
the
didn't
dad
get
from
taken
Seven.
fast enough. He didn't get taken down fast
Listen,
enough.
Okay, you can't even trust the dad from Seven.
I want us to not. Oh, we don't have enough evidence for Bill Cosby. That man admitted it.
No, people were like, "Oh, he's too old to be going to jail." I'm like, "Yo, he's old. He old enough. You need jail. You're going to jail.
Yes.
You're going to jail now."
And it's just like I feel like I'm going to say it. I said it before. We pick and choose what and who we want to believe.
No, that's agreed.
Because Michael
But
Jackson.
it's because society makes it so hard to. Because, not to say this is something that's new, but when you have these false accusations, it's hard to believe the truth. It's hard to believe that, Chris Brown might be beating on other bitches. Like, it's not to say that.
That's hard to believe.
I don't know.
But I just.
If he is,
But I don't.
I could tell by the
So when you say it's hard to believe, so this is the thing. When it's hard to believe these false accusations, I don't know.
If I gotta question it, I'm not doing it. Like, if I gotta question if Chris Brown's still out here beating on bitches, and I really should not.
But so what about with the case with Bill Cosby? What was the issue with that? Why was that just so like?
Well, let me ask you: do you still watch Bill Cosby? Do you still watch the Cosby Show if it comes on?
I do, but that's not because of Bill Cosby. But that's because of my.
But that is the artist.
But
that
you don't
is the
support.
artist.
But no, there's a difference.
That's art. That's his artistry.
That's his artistry that also fed Jada Pinkett, Felicia Rashad.
I don't care who it fed.
Right, it doesn't matter.
R. Kelly fed
but those
ton
are
of
people,
artists
so this is
as
the
well.
thing. I watch a different world. I watch Bill Cosby, and I also came out here and said I don't separate the artist from the artistry. I still tie them together.
Well, that's
but
fair.
there were certain things that. When I'm watching the Cosby Show, I'm not watching Bill Cosby date women and put drugs in their stuff. When I'm listening to R. Kelly,
but you are watching the artist. You are watching Bill Cosby.
And
but this is what I said.
There's no separate. For me,
I said there are certain things that are more forgiving. I'm watching Bill Cosby on television, not Bill Cosby living his.
But
that means that. Right? Yes, it is because that means that you forgive him.
I'm watching his character on TV, whereas if I'm listening to R. Kelly,
right, he's acting.
But R. Kelly is singing the things that he does,
and Bill Cosby is not acting out what he does.
And that's the problem.
But he's doing them.
No,
that's the problem.
So
the artistry is not separated
so you won't
from
listen
the
to R. Kelly, but you can still watch the Cosby Show,
and
knowing that this is a date rape.
Because
old man,
and not to say that here,
playing
I'm
Dr.
not standing
Huxtable.
Because certain situations are more forgiving for me, like I said, and I'm not
that
forgiving
is not
him
a
for his.
forgiving situation.
I'm not forgiving his actions.
What are you?
What
forgiving?
he did was wrong. I'm forgiving myself for watching his television show.
No. Not to say I haven't really watched. I don't really watch.
So
TV,
let's pause.
So
Who's your favorite rapper right now?
Davies.
No, other than Davies. Give me another one. Right now.
Mine is Kanye West. It will always be Kanye West.
I'm not gonna. No, I can't.
So-
No, you're fine. Vibes Cartel.
What about Vibes Cartel?
But Vibes Cartel beat Pop Women.
Do
And
you
he bleached his skin
have
because he wants to be lighter skinned.
Cartel
It's a conversation.
Yo, you know, say him dark again. So what?
Listen,
She wanted to rattle me up, America.
No,
Listen.
So
For real, because
after Davies would be Meek Mill. What has Meek Mill done?
Oh,
Please
come
don't.
on. She all got. Come on. She all pick somebody like.
Exactly.
But these are people
arrested
that
for
ride
listening to.
scooters and whatnot. Like, come on.
But these are
Clearly,
people that
but
ain't nobody
but
worried
you
about
love
Martin
the
Luther King
Cosby
Jr.
Show.
I don't.
Marley,
So
Marley,
for me,
you got
and
your
that's I do. And I loved the Cosby Show growing up because I would be home on the couch, 8 o'clock. The Cosby Show come on Sunday, and I'm chilling.
Marley's over here doing it.
Yes, I was Rudy. Like,
I just look at it as when they took the Cosby Show for syndication. I just remember like the other people who were on his TV show.
I understand. Those
I
people
don't
are
listen
still
to R.
eating.
Kelly, but I still listen to Kim Michelle. I still listen to Carrie Hilson.
But you
I still listen to
you
other
can't
songs she
group
wrote.
them. But that's okay
Yeah,
because you can't group these people
like you
for
said,
being
you still watch a
associated.
different world. Like I don't.
Yeah, and
That's
If you're
whatever, that's
grouping the if you're
production
grouping
thing,
the
but-
people who are associated with the artist, it's one thing. But I'm talking about separating art from artistry. People like R. Kelly who are singing out what they do as an artist and delivering that to us, we should have been more conscious. Like we should have been more conscious of that. But when we're sitting here watching a man act, he's acting. Everyone in Hollywood would be acting. Whoever was put in that role.
So
what
you're
I'm
telling
saying
me with
is-
Bill Cosby, I should have been able to separate. I'm okay with separating.
We
with
didn't
art.
know. We weren't. That's not something that.
because Hannibal Buress said it to us in 2002.
And what's that lady's name who
Burris.
said, "Oh well, she lied."
Janice Dickinson.
Janice.
But she,
It's like there are
She lied
certain
a lot
things.
though. Kind of like,
There are certain things that
I'm
we
not
have
discrediting
to.
women. Please don't take any, but she has quite
a lot of loopholes.
a rap
She's
sheet.
one.
And that's one thing. It's one
Quite a
thing
rap
when they're taking down people in our industries where there are plain old facts because, like
Yeah, you know,
Cat
I
Williams
know
had
Morgan
said-
Freeman.
Cat Williams had said in one of his stand-ups, he was like, "We're not gonna sit here and act like Whitney wasn't smoking her kneecaps off," and that's true. Because Whitney was over here abusing. It's not to say this is the same thing, but we kind of turn a blind eye to the person's lifestyle when they're in front of us as an artist. Is what I'm saying.
But like that's not an invalid point. That's very valid. But with Bill Cosby, the facts are there, and
I don't know that story, unfortunately.
I
I'm not
know
gonna
that.
act like I do.
know that story. I watched some of the cases, and some of the stuff you hear is very troubling. And I'm glad he is brought to justice. But unfortunately, I will still watch the Cosby Show.
She's like, I ain't giving that. That's
And that,
I don't know.
and that's a choice.
Honestly,
R. Kelly,
that's your decision. Like, we're not trying to impede on, how
Yeah, this
you
is not
should
a right or
handle-
wrong thing.
Yeah,
This is
it's
literally just a discussion
If you
about
feel-
like really trying to figure out
Yeah.
like, if you really can
I'm gonna
genuinely
be hon-
separate
and
the
like
artist
I
from the
said,
artistry.
I'm gonna be
Whether
honest.
you be
I do.
actor, whether you
You
be
said
a
you do?
singer.
I do.
you separate the artist and the artist.
I do. Like I told you, as soon as I consciously was aware that I was listening to R. Kelly again, I skipped it because
so you don't
now
separate it.
I do separate.
If you separate it, you'll
Oh,
be
I
able
don't
to
separate
listen to
it.
it.
You're
I
right.
was gonna say.
I'm
I
like,
do.
I was gonna say, come
I'm
on.
like,
I don't
I was
because
like, man, you don't. We was in the green room. You said no. You said
I
no.
don't
The literal
because it's like as soon as I'm consciously aware of who I'm listening to, now I'm like,
Now let me ask you. Now that you said that you're consciously aware, do you genuinely not support him, or is it because society said
no.
he's finally been brought to justice?
When
or,
I
well,
hear
not really,
things
but-
like it seems like you're ready,
No.
Oh,
what about Chris
man.
Brown? What about Chris
I
Brown?
don't listen to Chris Brown.
What,
does
take
he
you down?
say?
Oh.
Like, honestly,
Sorry, that's like my go-to.
like the only Chris
Y'all
Brown
seen that
I
video?
remember was 16-year-old Chris
I was
Brown.
gonna say, 'cause if we
Sorry,
really have to get into it, you know how many artists?
there's a lot of
both men
artists we
and
have to
women.
cancel.
Oh, of course.
But I want us to
Actors
focus
and
I'm
more
not
on
in the business
facts.
of canceling people. I'm in
Because-
the business of seeing
But that's the thing.
where you are now,
What do
because
we
I don't know
know?
you as a person.
And what do we know is really factual?
In Hollywood, not a lot,
Okay.
but
We don't
if-
cancel Beyonce for stealing other choreographers' rights.
we don't cancel Solange for beating all niggas.
Absolutely not.
She was defending
Absolutely not.
herself.
She was defending her sister. Oh, you know I kick a nigga in the chest.
I know she will. I call her first.
Me and Solange are kin.
Okay, we are very much kin. I may not be
And I will
related to
I
Beyonce.
will cancel talks with one if you cancel Solange.
I'm not canceling
I just-
because I've been Solange.
Because there's a lot that goes on when there's, what, 50 million in the elevator?
I don't know because I ain't never
There's
been
a lot
that
going
elevator.
down. 80 million?
Mm.
100 million?
Billions.
Millions.
She said
50
$1
billion?
billion in the elevator.
$1
All right, well,
billion.
damn. You know what I'm saying?
Elevator, ma'am.
$1 billion?
You
Who
can't
do you
even-
think you kidnapping?
you
Jesse
can't press the
James?
See, and that's like I said, there's just, I want to enjoy my entertainment. But I also
Problematic
being
free.
attacked.
No, I was gonna say, I also want these people to be
Like,
held accountable.
Charlemagne is a problematic fave.
Charlemagne is my problematic fave, but the difference between Charlemagne and a lot of other people is that he owns up to the shit that he did.
He do,
Letting
but
go is
Charlamagne's
that-
stories got some loopholes too.
Charlamagne stories ain't got no loopholes.
Oh, they certainly got
no,
loopholes.
listen, Charlamagne stories don't got no
You
loopholes.
saw that? She said,
Char-
"No, listen."
Charlamagne's stories are all fully there because his dumbass told on himself.
Charlamagne's stories got some loopholes because when I listened to the woman's version of it,
And you ever listen to when he told the story on the actual in 2015?
I ain't
when he
never seen
first-
the two of them in the same place telling the story at the same time.
He called her on the phone to for her to tell the story.
Is that before or after she went and told her side of the story?
Before she told her side of the story.
I wouldn't know. That's why I'm asking.
then-
Because I'm not.
because-
Charlamagne is not my problematic.
With
kid.
his
Kanye
situation,
is. Ask me about
with
Kanye.
his-
Okay,
Which-
wait, go ahead.
I was
I'm gonna ask
say,
you about Kanye.
With his
since you wanna guess.
situation, with Charlamagne's situation, it was a dumb situation. It was a shitty situation. But you know what he said? In the 90s, that was normal for us, and it is not right now. He was just like, and
that's a growth.
that's growth.
As long
That
as
is
he ain't
growth.
out here doing
If he's
this
doing
crazy
it
stuff,
now, I couldn't support him doing it now because then you're being fake and phony, and it's a
I think we
facade.
have a hard time letting go. Like, if like we were
What
saying,
did Elsa say?
if he moved on
You want me to
and
get soul to sing it?
and realized that those things were problematic.
He said he
then
had to go to therapy. He was like, it was
the
eating
man
up
got
inside.
help.
He was like, I knew something was wrong with me. He was like, I knew the way I was going on was wrong. And he went and got help. You get what I mean? And,
I do.
And this is the thing. It's just like, and this is the thing.
Right.
He could honestly be doing it for show.
And
he
it's very
could.
likely.
It is very likely. But
Well,
he's
it's
putting
very,
the
it's
work.
very genuine.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But he's putting the work in. And that's all you got to ask as people. Because what his
Because
favorite
we
line,
can't crucify people
his favorite line
all
is,
the days.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Malcolm Little, in this day and age, Malcolm Little would never be Malcolm X. We
That's
would
very
not
true.
let him be Malcolm X. In this day and age, Malcolm
That's
Little
very
would
true.
not be Malcolm X.
Because we have such a hard time. As soon as I think nowadays we dig up all this bad stuff on
People
people
are digging
to,
up that
to
Martin Luther
like.
King cheated on Coretta. They are
First
digging
of all,
it
that's
up.
old news. You know how
But
many?
they trying to
You
smash
ain't
him.
never listen. You ain't never
That's
survived
it.
heartbeats.
But
All of them Motown singers was cheating. All of them
All
fucking
of
civil
them.
rights. They was all cheating.
And it's just like,
Come on.
and that's the thing. It's
And
just
we
like-
and
we
it
even hear
sounds,
about
but
artists
it sounds
nowadays.
bad because now it sounds like I'm pacifying, and now I'm like, oh no, all cheating. But it's true. It's a
It's-
sad thing that we were living with, but it is true.
it is.
And
it's
that's
only
a-
shocking
that's
to
just-
those who
we
don't.
want better. And I want,
Coretta sitting up here like, y'all just now found this out.
and what I want,
I got a new watch for that one.
and what I
Not to
want
say that to
is for more artists to be like the Charlamagnes and the Snoop Dogs and the Dr. Dre's. I don't know about T.I. I don't know. Tupac passed? No, Tupac passed before he could reach.
No, but we
He's-
crucified that man.
He's still alive. Yeah, I'm
When
one
we
of those people.
we
Start
crucified
with
that
me.
man with
I'm one of
no
those.
facts, is what I mean.
When,
Like
who crucified Tupac?
they crucified Tupac.
We
all
were too young to.
not to say we crucified Tupac, but they crucified Tupac, and I think it's just like.
I don't think that's something we could talk about because I feel like we were too young to really actually know the validity.
But
of
he
that
was the one
situation.
talking about it as far as how they were crucifying him. Because even when we listen to these things now, he's like, yo, they definitely wanted. That is a different topic. I'm not even going to go there.
I was
Because
gonna say-
they was out for him.
I was well prepared. Like, wait,
Nah, they was out for Pac anyway.
All right,
But
we
I
have
was-
a whole
whatever.
Pac episode.
I was
I'm looking
looking
at
at
all my
Pac
conspiracies.
episodes.
Is
I
why I believe that
love
man is
Pac.
still alive.
I
Running around
Pac as
Aruba.
an artist, and not as a rap artist. I loved him as a poet.
loved him as a rap artist and a poet. You have to love both.
I know.
You
Right.
can't separate the artist from the artistry.
Yeah, that's your closing remarks. I was gonna say.
Wait, no, what were you want to ask me
I
about?
was gonna ask you
Kanye?
about Kanye.
Ask me.
And you know, I
'Cause
have
he's
an
all
unpopular
modified.
opinion people don't like.
I got two
Oh,
questions.
you might like it, but
Hit me.
Kanye West, yes, he's ignorant.
Yes.
Yes, he's psychotic.
Yes.
Yes, he's crazy.
Yes, he needs a
But
hug
he's
and
still
help.
allowed to
He's a
believe
Gemini.
what he wants to believe.
That's a
Why
fact.
are we
That is a
forcing?
fact as well.
Why do we want to force Kanye? Just because that man came out and said one thing about Bush and that he believes this, why do we want
I was
Kanye?
okay with him there.
Why do we want him to do and believe what we want him to believe? Why
You
can't
don't
he just
have to.
just leave him alone? Let him be crazy on his
I do.
own. I feel like we give Kanye West too much attention.
That's the
I do
and
not.
that's the
I
validity.
think
of it.
that's
But
what
the thing
it is.
the thing about it, what were we gonna ask me?
I was going to ask you.
Because I
As
only have one thing that I would truly say to Kanye at the very end of the day.
Lay on a mammy titty.
Well, I don't have them no more, but I'm gonna send them your way. But
two questions,
the
because
whole
I feel
thing.
like this week Kanye had an issue of separating the art from the artist as well when he mentioned this whole Kim K taking 2 sexy pictures.
No, that was a man talking about his wife.
No,
That was a
but
man.
That's Kanye saying crazy things, but
That is a man telling his wife. Since when I met you, you was dressing like a
Fam,
little
he
hoe, and I
had his-
loved it.
he had
You're
her
so
in the
tough.
video naked.
And now he's just like, yo, you are my wife now. I want you to put clothes on. That's a man being a man. That wasn't Kanye West separate. That was a man being a man.
But did you? But
Into-
Kim's response was really on some like shruggery. Like she was like, "You met me this way."
She did the.
Which is very valid.
She said, "I
Hold on.
know you're tired."
Kanye West pulled the I found me a stripper and I want to turn her into a housewife.
And
Now he wants to turn her into a housewife.
Yes.
But in separating the art from the artist, if that is your wife, because there are people out there who are married to.
Let's be clear, Kim ain't no.
Go ahead. That's her art. Stop it.
I was about to say that's why I stopped.
There are people
Because she's gonna-
who are married to people who have led very sexually enticing lifestyles.
Okay.
That's the best way I can say it.
That was
Sexually
very classy.
enticing
It's very classy. I like that.
lifestyles, and we can't judge, like, for example, sex workers, which is in a sense what she would be considered.
All right, this is another topic.
No,
Because
that
what's
is-
the question.
no, the question is still, how do you separate that? Because if Kim is saying, I'm a bomb ass mom and I take care of home and this is how I get paid, what is the problem? That's my question for you about Kanye.
Well, no,
That's not about
I
Kanye. That's about Kim.
No, well, no, it's about Kanye's reaction, but I agree with you. First of all, Kanye is a problematic fave for me. I acknowledge First things-
sanctified. He's on.
first things
There, 'cause
first.
he's holding
No bullshit. Kanye certainly needs to. I don't think he ever coped with the loss of his mother.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys have access to, oh damn, I can't remember the name of the show, but it's like behind the music, and it really breaks down about how Jesus Walks came about. I'll find out for you guys and I'll plug it in. But basically, he never coped with that. So you never coped with the loss of your mom. You got to a plateau where your mom supported you so much, you made enough money to actually take care of your mom and get the things that she wanted. She dies now. You don't get you don't cope, you're in the limelight, you're doing all these things.
Also,
It's not an
remember,
excuse.
He was paying for the procedure.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You got to a plateau where you could pay for your things for your mom that she always wanted because she thought she needed these things. You took care of these things for her. She dies on the surgery table. All right. Thanks. But the thing about it is, the thing that sucks is like, I'm not excusing him. It does not excuse him from these outlandish remarks and these things that he's doing. Like, not for nothing, I think therapy and all, and even if he took the time away from the limelight to cope and really like embrace the loss of his mother, I think he would still be a fucking nut.
That's always
But
been
here's the
Kanye
relevance.
West.
But I will say, I think to answer your question, I agree with you. I think it's just a man really just being like on some like, yo, babe, like wait a minute, like you said you were gonna marry Kim Kardashian and you did, and that's great, and you guys are lovely, and you have 56 children named Psalms and King David and all that good stuff. My issue is, at the end of the day, like I guess the reason why he's my problematic fave is because, for me, it's like, yes, your remarks are outlandish, and but these are things that people are probably saying in their fucking homes. He's just on a platform.
Which
He's
is true.
always been saying this. Kanye
Right.
West has always
He's
been.
always been a problematic.
But the
figure.
slaves remark,
Anyway.
to a certain degree, y'all gonna hate me for this. To a certain degree, you do enslave yourself. Now, I'm not saying during those
The
times.
way he said it.
It was
he said
it was
wrong.
his delivery.
He said it
his
wrong,
delivery.
and
It was his delivery.
it's-
And homeboy from TMZ got him together very nicely.
Right.
What is his
And
name?
like
Vance.
Van Lathan.
Yeah, that guy. Got him together very nicely.
What it is with
But-
Kanye West is, like I said, we give him too much attention. Kanye
That's
West
true.
is that man
He
on
needs
the
to sit
train.
down.
He's that man on the train
He
that
really
is
do.
spitting out those remarks that we would walk by.
It's true.
And
I need change. Like
Kanye West is that man with money, and it's just like, yes, he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He needs help. We know this. He needs help because he don't act like that around Kim.
Do we know that?
We don't know that.
She says that. She goes, this Kanye West that other people see, she doesn't see.
We
She
always
was like,
say
I
that.
see a father and a husband.
You see a father and a
Right.
husband.
We see him acting out.
She gets to see a father and a husband, and that's dope.
And
we
you
don't-
see that too.
Yeah,
Don't act like you don't see that too.
certain instances. But that is my problematic fave. I still don't separate him. It is a problem. I do acknowledge, as somebody who still loves Kanye West, that is a problem. Like, I'm not perpetuating what he does. Am I supporting him by listening to his music still? Yep. But everyone is guilty of that. It doesn't make it any better. It doesn't make it any worse. I don't really know how we
Kanye West
move
still
from that.
producing for your fave.
For your faves, and that's the thing. That man is a fucking genius.
I'm gonna go check Meek Mill's albums and stuff.
I bet you Kanye somewhere at the bottom of the fine print.
Did.
Probably produced your favorite damn song.
Maybe show me who he
the
worked
little, that's him.
To wrap up,
Listen, guys, everyone is an artist, and everyone is sensitive about their shit. It's just about who you're going to support.
Listen, like I said earlier, this is not a conversation that's giving you a right or wrong answer. How you feel on that situation is how you feel. You can listen to Kanye, you can listen to Michael Jackson,
You can listen to R. Kelly, honestly.
You can listen to
That's
R. Kelly
your
if you want.
business.
But I'm saying personally, if we as a collective don't
If we want to start
acknowledge
holding,
facts
right.
when we're holding these people accountable, just like you had said about the Gucci situation. Gucci man just signed a deal with Gucci, and I know he's gonna sell out. So when we talk about
Wait,
separate,
what?
yeah, he did. He's now the face of Gucci.
With the ice cream cone?
With the it ain't really there anymore. And I love Gucci man. So now I'm at a
Where
point.
do I be?
Not only am I waiting for October 2, but I'm like, ooh, you're
and
now.
Here she is talking about some
Here's the real
separating-
one. Here's the real hoodie.
Separating the art from the artistry. Because
Not-
Gucci man was a misogynist. It's still a misogynistic. I love Gucci, but he is misogynistic. And
He
a
is.
pig.
And now I'm at a point like,
But
yo,
he's
when this album drops,
But is
am
it
I
for the
going
culture?
to really listen
But these
to
people
it?
are married, and these women are okay with it.
No, I'm
Or
talking
are
about,
they
I'm talking
just-
about him attacking Angela Yee the other day.
Nah, I feel like.
When he said we,
Because she
came
tried
out-
to say something about, oh, I
No,
don't remember. us
he
messing
came-
around.
I remember that.
That's
Yeah.
off the thingy.
Then he
That's
then
off
brings
the
it
record.
back up.
That's off the record because he apologized to that and blamed it on the drugs. Like
As
he
long
did-
as he's
like
holding
he did
himself
with the
accountable,
Walker
right?
situation, like he did with
and
the
with that
Jeezy.
being
Yeah.
said,
As
you
long
guys,
as they're holding each other, they're holding themselves accountable. My thing is, we have to move away from holding these people in the limelight or on a pedestal.
Yeah, people be too invested in their lives. They're not
Listen.
paying my rent, so
Sure ain't.
Mm.
But if you can get with it, you can get with it, and that's what that is. Personally, if you won't rock with it, that's on
I agree. So I will say for me, yeah, I don't know. I'm working on holding people accountable. I'm working on holding people accountable, including myself, and that means supporting problematic artists, problematic faves. But I will always love Kanye West. There's nothing else to say about that.
you. Listen, I might still learn how to roller skate because of Michael Jackson.
have a good evening, guys.
Have a good night.
All right.